The 13th day of February, 2017. I'm Alex Jones, your host. Thank you so much for joining us. I have known for 2 weeks that Donald Trump has been looking to replace Reince Priebus. And I called Roger Stone about this last week from several of my other sources, some of them right, obviously, inside the White House. And he said, you know, I've just been learning about this too, but we don't want to put this out because Trump doesn't want leaks on leaks. But I called Roger this morning and I said, you know what? I got to do my job here at a certain point. I mean, I'm not going to leak stuff that hurts the country. I'm not going to leak stuff about Trump's agenda of trying to restore the Republic and cut taxes and things like that and, you know, end the war on the family. But when I sit here over and over again knowing things and then it comes true, what my sources tell me, but then I'm just told this so I can map out what's going on, but I'm not allowed to say it on air, it's very, very frustrating. And I'm not going to break confidences today, but now that this stuff started coming out this weekend, I can talk about it. But that's what's frustrating. It always ends up coming out, but then they get to spin it. So it's detrimental. So I sit here and I keep my mouth shut with our Secret Service contacts and Defense Department contacts and just all of it. I mean, I know stuff that'll make you lose sleep at night. And let me tell you, once stuff you get told comes true like 20-something times, you start really paying attention. And Stone agreed with me this morning because I didn't get the info from him. And he's got more sources than I do. And he didn't tell me everything. Because what's the point if Trump's not going to act on this stuff? And then I put it out, the media is going to run crazy with it and say, oh, look, you know, Alex Jones put this out, and then Trump reads that. So I just sit here and watch these wolves tearing at Trump and tearing at the American people. And I respect the president enough to think he knows what he's doing, but he certainly does. But I knew weeks ago that the president was going around because it's a process. Trump goes through a three-part process. He walks around and says, how do you think Reince Priebus is doing to a bunch of people? Friends of his, people in the White House, folks he has dinner with, you name it. And then he starts asking people, you know, who do you think a good replacement for Reince Priebus would be? And when you get into that second phase, the next thing is Reince Priebus has dropped the ball. Reince Priebus is a problem, and I'm getting rid of him. What do you think about that? And we're now entering that phase. A few days ago, over the weekend, he had a lot of friends over for dinner at his estate. It also has a big country club on it, one of the most famous in the world. And Chris Ruddy, who's a known member there, who I ran into at dinner a few weeks ago, the night of the inauguration, went on CNN. He's joining us in the next hour. And said, no, I talked to the president. And he said, what do you think about Reince Priebus? Think he's doing a good job? I got some problems. So he goes on CNN Sunday and talks about that. And then he starts getting calls from high-level people in the White House from a certain camp in the White House. There's camps saying, back off the story. And I didn't get that from Ruddy. I called Ruddy up this morning. And talked to him, and he agreed to come on. They're obviously telling him to back off. Look, facts are facts, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what Trump's doing. I've been told by 6 different people that Trump's going around saying, what do you think of Reince Priebus? What do you think of the job he's doing? Now, that's only when he's thinking about, do I like somebody or don't I? And then he's going into the second and now the third phase. Now, I don't want to sit here and announce all this and then have a bunch of people in the establishment come defend Priebus and then somehow he ends up staying in the administration. Because I think Reince Priebus is terrible. He is a minion of Paul Ryan. And you notice on Friday I said, next week I'm going to announce some big things because I knew this wasn't going to end up not getting out soon. And you notice I said Reince Priebus is probably the leaker. No, Reince Priebus is the leaker.